I think Discord connections are a bit broken, to put it lightly, because I was sent this Discord profile that has a bunch of TikTok connections to famous people. I don't know who any of these people are, but we have people like Mr. Beast with a verified connection. And when you click on this profile connection, it leads you to the actual Mr. Beast TikTok account. Now, the second I was sent this profile, I knew I was in for an absolute roller coaster because I had people spamming my DMs asking me to look into it so they can figure out how to do it. And I've also had people in their servers say, don't tell NTTS or he'll ruin it. So I've decided to look after my role model, Hannah Montana, and do the best of both worlds by both explaining how it works and ruining it all at the same time. Now, just before we get started, I assume most of my viewers aren't stupid enough to understand this whole entire username thing, so I'll explain it to you. There are idiots on Discord that care about having usernames that impersonate Travis Scott, or are just short things like 8, or when people's egos are extremely frail, they'll put in connections like rich to flex to their Discord friends that they are rich. Now, I could jokingly say that I don't understand this whole entire thing, but I have Fortnite feed on my profile. So now that we all have the brain-rotten intelligence of a 14-year-old to open command prompt for the first time, let me explain how this TikTok connection method exploit thing works. When you go to change your username from something stupid like Doug Dimmadomer to not know text-to-speech, and you click on save and confirm, you'll notice on the right here, I had the wrong thing selected, I'm a mistake. Man, I f***ed it up. But whenever you edit your profile on TikTok, whether it be changing your bio or changing your username, if you go to your network tab, you'll see that there is a network request to TikTok's API to change your profile. Basically, your computer is sending TikTok a message to change your username or change your bio. And if we click on this network request and we look at the request URL, it goes to TikTok's API. But there's someone who is actually pretty smart. I'll give them credit. But someone figured out that there is an old version of TikTok's API. You see, with the old version of TikTok's API, what you could do is you can put in any username that you want. So you could do something like Discord, but it's going to tell you that the username is taken. But if you add just a whole bunch of spaces, again, the person that figured this out don't even know how you did it. But if you add a whole bunch of spaces and then add a random letter, according to TikTok's old API, this is a completely new username, which will allow you to save it as your username. But why? Now, I did my job and I asked around, and it turns out we have a TikTok history lesson. Yay. But TikTok, back in its glory days where you'd actually get bullied if you were on it, you could set your username to have spaces. But then TikTok pulled a Discord moment and forced people to change their usernames. There's Reddit threads from 4 years ago talking about how TikTok is forcing people to change their username. And it turns out if you do this exploit and you go to your TikTok account and you try changing the username, TikTok will give you the same pop-up telling you that you're using an old username, which means that this whole entire system, it is confirmed that it is using an old API to give you an old username. However, this happened 4 years ago, back when I still had my will to live. In between then and now, TikTok added a system that will automatically shrink your username to 24 characters and remove any spaces, which means that your TikTok account is now called Discord. And what that allows you to do is that if you go back to Discord and you go into your user settings, if you go to your connections, you can now connect your TikTok profile, which will allow you to connect your TikTok account to Discord with the username Discord, which is how people get connections like this. Now, in reality, spoofing your TikTok username to be something like Discord isn't done through TikTok's website, but instead it's done through a Python script. And this Python code uses an algorithm copied from GitHub to create X-Chronos and X-Gorgon headers to successfully be able to change your username with the old API. Half of you blanked out there. Basically, this script is sophisticated. Most normal people wouldn't figure it out, which means for most normal people, instead of trying to figure it out, they're just going to copy and download a program that does this for them. Now, there is a Discord server filled with people that are actually on Discord every waking hour of their life. Their dedication is impressive. That claims to give you a program that will do all this connection stuff so you can get whatever profile connection you want on your Discord account. Now, here's the thing. Since this exploit does break TikTok's terms of service, this Discord server technically breaks Discord's terms of service, and also Discord doesn't want people abusing this feature so that they have weird profile connections because, again, it could be used for scamming. So chances are Discord is going to terminate this server, and I'll be blamed for it like usual. I'm coping at this point. But if the server gets terminated, what someone can do if they really want to ruin people's day is they can steal that invite link to impersonate the server and get you to download or run some malware. But even if the server doesn't get terminated, or you feel like you're getting a 100% safe TikTok connection method, I would still not use it for 3 big reasons. Now, the first reason is common sense. I've seen both this program and definitely not sketchy exe files, which this should never have to be an exe file. But I've also seen this in Python scripts. And the thing with running any sort of code on the internet is that you need to check every single part of the code and make sure it's not malware. I feel like a broken record at this point, but time and time again, I will see code that works and that is safe, but then the programs get so popular where the developer adds some malware to exit scam a whole bunch of people. But given the room temperature IQ of some of these people that want these profile connections, scammers will capitalize on that and will just spam malware everywhere to try and hack these stupid kids. And a little bit of a side note, I was doing my research about this and seeing where it all came from, and there are people that are trying to sell this exploit for like $5 up to $50. If you're paying $5 to get a profile connection on your Discord account, then I really don't know what's wrong with you. $5 could get some good ice cream. But the second reason I wouldn't even bother with this exploit is that it's being patched as I speak. Like, TikTok is completely aware of this, and I mean, chances are by the time this video comes out, it's already patched, which means if you download some risky file that hacks your computer, even if it does work and give you malware, it won't work because TikTok patched it. And it also turns out that TikTok is starting to ban any account that abuses this exploit. Who could have seen this coming? Yeah, someone that I've been talking to about this exploit that gave me a lot of information. You know who you are. You're awesome. They sent me a link to this TikTok by someone whose username was bro. Pretty good indicator they used the exploit. We could see from the thumbnail that they're complaining about how their TikTok account, Draco, I guess they're a Harry Potter fan, got banned. So TikTok is going through all these accounts and banning them. And if I actually try going to this TikTok, well, you'll notice that the video is currently unavailable. So the other TikTok account named bro, it's gone. Rest in peace, soldier. You died a very predictable death. But the third and final reason, and honestly the biggest reason why you should not do this exploit, is the fact that Discord is going to remove all these connections. All these people spending all their time making these TikTok alt accounts to get the stupidest usernames on the planet, they're gonna get removed, because there's been plenty of connection bugs that Discord has had where people have fake usernames with YouTube or like 1,000 profile connections, and like clockwork, every single time Discord will just clear out all these connections and all this dude's hard work, it gets removed. Anyways, gamers, I'm currently being sued by McDonald's for making that viral McChicken video back in 2016, so I'm gonna have to contact my lawyers and get that sorted. Anyways, bye-bye, I love you. Mwah!